Hello everybody and welcome or welcome back to my channel, the place where we make fun of the morons we see out here on the road, a bit like this bargain bucket Darwin Award nominee who's mentally slower than a council housing repair request. Oh, and welcome to my 100th video. But that said, somebody who's definitely not welcome is this professionally confused Audi driver who obviously doesn't know what side of the road he's meant to be on, and he's so easily confused he'd managed to trip over a cordless Hoover. Or this mug with his reduced to clear level of intelligence, whose brain is obviously as functional as a rubber ice pick. Ah yes, there's young Tarquin taking the old Ferrari out for a little spin, but unfortunately we've got a bad combination of wet road, too much power, too much right foot, too little mental capacity and too much street furniture to crash into. Now this next BMW driver you're about to see definitely needs a lifetime ban, and the saving grace there was that child has got about 200 times more mental capacity and mental agility than that BMW driver will ever have. Anyway, carrying on with this display of the devolution of the human species, we got this low capacity specimen. But hang on a minute, Chris O knows him, he's a local man, they call him Reverse. I said, that's a funny name, why do they call him that? He says, yeah, because he's so backwards. Now, nothing quite lets people know that you're not the brightest bulb on the billboard of life, and your thought process is so slow it requires postage stamps, like driving on the wrong side of the road and having a head-on collision. Yeah, when your dashcam ends up seeing more sky than the Hubble Space Telescope, it's fair to say you've had better days. And what kind of half-loaded dishwasher who's as mentally stable as a hammock in a hurricane is going to park their car like that? Seriously, the driver needs help. Ah yes, a heavily congested motorway, the Sodom and Gomorrah of the road network and driving, where anything that's bad is good and anything goes. Undertake the car what's in front of you, then brake check, no problem. Act as mentally confused as someone who's trying to read subtitles for a silent movie, equally no problem. Now brainless twats with four wheels, that's one thing, but two-wheel mobile organ donors, that's a whole nother level. And can we just take a moment to admire the tenacity of that young man to test the theory of natural selection? So from the theory of natural selection to unnatural inbred rejection, with this real shallow paddling pool who's driving this silver car. Another low capacity driver who uses their wing mirrors less than the maintenance team for a petroleum refinery will use a blowtorch. Oh god, here we go, coming to the end of a wet dark dual carriageway at night, what could possibly go wrong? And when the driver that's in front of you's brain ingests knowledge and information the same way as a snake ingests and swallows a mattress, he puts his van into reverse and smashes straight into your car, that's exactly what can go wrong. That was a proper display of entry-level intellect right there. And now he's not doing a run, he did actually stop once he got round a roundabout. Now we all have to stop at red traffic lights, but when you drive a black Range Rover with black windows, you're exempt. I bet if that mug played rock, paper, scissors with himself, he'd still lose. And here's another black Range Rover with black wheels, black windows and black empty space between the driver's ears. Obviously into finance, massive banker. And here's yet another one driven by a real blank canvas. Look at this pulling out technique, what's that all about? Poor bloke's like a butter knife living in a world of steaks, isn't he? And here's another Range Rover driver with budget line brain capacity who obviously can't comprehend what white lines and boxes mean in a car park. Now we do watch Audi drivers do some dumb stuff on this channel, but seriously, where is he going? Ah yes, this is more like it. The English countryside, wildlife, beautiful scenery, fresh air, and a delinquent doofus whose brain is as empty as Katie Price's new book titled What I've Learnt About Celibacy and Virtue. You can't see it, but on this driver's forehead, under his fringe, he's got a tattoo. Mind the gap. And staying on a similar theme, here's another cupcake who don't know what side of the road he's meant to be on. He's a real barnacle on the ship's hull of HMS Intelligence, that one. What a melt. Now for a long time, Audi, BMW and Mercedes have dominated the piss-pot podium of peril. So naturally, Volvo drivers are starting to fight back, a bit like this one who's got the spatial awareness of belly button fluff. Or this next Volvo driving plum who very sensibly takes a very wide berth there to negotiate that turn in order to get the invisible trailer around without doing damage to other cars. And have a look at this plank doing his best to replicate the driving style of a 57 plate BMW 1 Series, just pulling straight out there. A stellar effort by all three Volvo drivers to prove that they really are flat out fearless and brainless. Now, with this level of competition heating up, Audi drivers are not going to be outdone. And look at this one. He looks as confused as a man standing in a round room trying to find a corner to stand in as he goes from lane 2 to the exit slip road in 1. Guys, if you like what you've seen so far and you haven't done it already, would you mind hitting that little like and subscribe button down below? Oh, and if the hype button comes up, press that as well because it helps me out as well, please. Thank you. Let's have a look at some more idiots. So as we can see, the sun's setting, it's getting a bit dark. Also, the road looks a little bit slippery, so you want to go a bit careful in these conditions. What happened there? We need a steward's inquiry. Okay, here's the slow-mo. As we can see, Captain Clueless coming towards us, approaching the bend, but hindered by his IQ, which is similar to that of an empty cotton reel. So instead of negotiating the bend, he's gone straight on, ploughed into the car. That sent his car rolling over. When the car started to roll, he was touching cloth, but now we've gone beyond that and the baby's head is actually showing. Now, for me, that was caused by him coming into that bend too fast or coming into that bend at the end of a long straight road when he weren't paying attention, maybe playing with his phone. What do you lot reckon? Can someone please explain to me why it is that drivers like this, who have an obvious mental disability, park in such a way to risk the lives of genuinely disabled people in wheelchairs? And nice to see that this cretin with clearance line common sense has got 2 parking tickets. Now, we've all got different tastes. Some of us like ballet, some of us like opera, some of us like classical music, others can't stand it. Bit like waiting at traffic lights, really. Some people wait them, others don't give a toss. I mean, look at that muppet. He's definitely driving down the road of life with the handbrake on. Now, we all know how to overtake another vehicle, don't we? Don't cut them up and leave plenty of space. That mug left less space than what you get in an EasyJet economy seat. And there goes another bottom feeder who was obviously reared on a diet of paint chips and solvent fumes. Okay, now keep your eye on this person paying to get out through the barrier from the car park, yeah? Now notice I said person because I don't want to misgender anyone. We're all about inclusivity on this channel. Now I like the way this little team works. They've got a plan. One drives a car, one pays. But as Mike Tyson said, everyone's got a plan until they get hit and it's game over. Straight in the boat race by the barrier. Not what you want when you're on your way home from the weekly shop. Here we go, here's another fine young lady in a Nissan who's obviously 4 bows short of a full quartet, because last time I checked, looking down at the passenger seat while you're moving forwards is not optimal for keeping your no claims bonus intact. I could be wrong, but it does look like she's got a different coloured driver's side front wing on the car. Dear oh dear. Now this clip will prove why dashcams are not optional anymore. Now when this future scientist was born, not only did they break the mould, they threw the mould away and sacked the mould maker. Now just look at these weather conditions and just watch what this halfwit does from lane 3 to the slip road. He's a local man, they call him the Odeon. Yeah, because he's got more empty space in his skull than a disused cinema. Staying on the theme of wet roads, have a look at what this real damp sleeping bag does in this little Volkswagen Polo. You just watch this, look. If brains were sandbags, that mug couldn't stop a drip. In fact, I'd go so far to say he's the sort of bloke who'd get locked out of a tent. Well, that's it for this one, everybody. My 100th video bites the dust. I put a playlist there on the right if you want to watch some more of my videos. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say a massive thank you to all my subscribers, my viewers, and the people who send in clips, because without you guys, I wouldn't be here. So thank you all once more. Have a fantastic weekend, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.